The 2023 NFL Draft is upon us, and in this video I'll be predicting the first round of the NFL Draft. Before we get into today's video, please smash that subscribe button and also hit that notification bell if you're new to my channel. Chances are if you're watching this video, that means you really love sports, and also drop a like on this video. Now it's time to dive into my NFL mock draft for 2023. Pick number 1, the Chicago Bears. With the first overall pick, the Chicago Bears select DL Jalen Carter. He played his college football at Georgia from 2020 to 2022. The Chicago Bears need help at multiple positions across the board. And why not go after the top prospect in the draft? Pass rusher should most certainly be under consideration for a team that recorded a league-low 20 sacks last season. He would anchor a defense that surrendered the most points in the league and was the NFC's worst against the run last year. I believe he is the top defensive prospect in the 2023 NFL Draft because he can overwhelm linemen with his strength, and he is also quick for a 300-pound player. Pick number 2, the Houston Texans. With the second pick, the Houston Texans select QB Bryce Young. He played his college football at Alabama from 2020 to 2022. One of the biggest needs for the Houston Texans in the NFL Draft is a quarterback, and Bryce Young is the best quarterback in the class. He won the 2021 Heisman Trophy, and over the last 2 seasons, he has thrown for 79 passing touchdowns, and that's the most in a 2-year span in SEC history. I absolutely think that he will fit beautifully with the Houston Texans as they try to work their way back up in the AFC South in the future. Pick number 3, the Arizona Cardinals. With the third pick, the Arizona Cardinals select Will Anderson Jr. He played his college football at Alabama from 2020 to 2022. During his 3 college football seasons, he totaled 207 quarterback pressures, 71 quarterback hits, 58.5 tackles for loss, and 34.5 sacks. That was the most in the nation since the 2020 season in all those categories. With the retirement of J.J. Watt at the end of last season, that leaves the Arizona Cardinals with a big hole to fill at that position. With Arizona drafting the electric pass rusher, that will provide the disruptive presence the Cardinals desperately need on the edges. I believe that he will fit well with the Arizona Cardinals. Pick number 4, the Indianapolis Colts. With the 4th pick, the Indianapolis Colts select C.J. Stroud. He played his college football at Ohio State from 2020 to 2022. The Indianapolis Colts have had 6 different Week 1 starting quarterbacks since the 2017 season, and it's time to find a young, long-term guy the team can build around for years to come. The team hasn't had that since Andrew Luck retired. He has the potential to end up as one of the best quarterbacks in this draft class in the future. He was on the losing end of both his starts against Michigan, and in a 2023 college football playoff semifinal game against Georgia, he was spectacular in that game, passing for 348 yards and 4 touchdowns against an awesome Bulldogs defense. He will be a great fit with the Colts and their new head coach. Pick number 5, the Seattle Seahawks. With the 5th pick, the Seattle Seahawks select Tyree Wilson. He played his college football at Texas Tech from 2020 to 2022. The Seattle Seahawks had a surprising season last year by making the playoffs in what was the start of a rebuild. The Seahawks need to do a better job of getting to the quarterback and also stopping the run. And reinforcements for a defense that hasn't ranked better than 22nd since 2018 are long overdue. With a 6'6" frame, 275-pound edge rusher with 14 sacks and 27.5 tackles for loss over the past 2 seasons, he should provide needed pressure that would make a young group of cornerbacks shine even more. He will help the Seahawks defense reemerge as a premier unit in the future. Pick number 6, the Detroit Lions. With the 6th pick, the Detroit Lions select Devin Witherspoon. He played his college football at Illinois from 2019 to 2022. The Lions seem satisfied with their quarterback. and this might be their last best chance to take a young quarterback, knowing that their quarterback's contract only runs 2 more seasons. The Detroit Lions had the league's worst defense in 2022 statistically. By drafting him, they could have the best corner in the NFL draft this year. He is extremely quick in coverage downfield with plenty of speed to keep up on vertical routes. He plays with an attitude and plenty of energy as a willing, physical tackler, not something that can be said of old cornerbacks. Pick number 7, the Las Vegas Raiders. With the 7th pick, the Las Vegas Raiders select Will Levis. He played his college football at Kentucky from 2021 to 2022. The Raiders need a new quarterback with Derek Carr no longer in the building and with Tom Brady retired. It makes sense that their head coach will be looking for a young quarterback that he can mold the way he likes. Even if the Raiders decide to get a veteran quarterback to replace him, they would be wise to draft a developmental quarterback prospect to compete with an established veteran for the Raiders' number 1 quarterback spot next season. He's 6'3" and weighs 232 pounds and is going to draw comparisons to the likes of Matthew Stafford and Josh Allen. Pick number 8, the Atlanta Falcons. With the 8th pick, the Atlanta Falcons select Myles Murphy. He played his college football at Clemson from 2020 to 2022. The productive All-ACC edge man had 18.5 sacks and 36 tackles for loss in 3 seasons with Clemson. The Falcons finished last season at 31st in sacks. However, means they grabbed Murphy, who is just the type of strong, long edge defender that their new defensive coordinator coached during his time with the New Orleans Saints. He's one of the youngest prospects in the draft, turning 21 in January. Murphy has all the physical tools you look for in an elite edge defender, and it's easy to see him in a few years being dominant in the league. Pick number 9, the Carolina Panthers. With the 9th pick, the Carolina Panthers select Anthony Richardson. He played his college football at Florida from 2020 to 2022. One of the top priorities for the Carolina Panthers in the NFL draft will be a quarterback. He probably has one of the best athletic gifts of any quarterback in this NFL draft class, but he's very unrefined as a passer, as his 55% career completion percentage in his college career would indicate. That mark would give him the 4th lowest college completion percentage of any first-round quarterback taken in the 21st century. If the Panthers decide to take him in the NFL draft, they would be smart to find a veteran quarterback so he could sit a year, and that would probably be a good idea. Pick number 10, the Philadelphia Eagles. With the 10th pick, the Philadelphia Eagles select Joey Porter Jr. He played his college football at Penn State from 2019 to 2022. He is the son of former Steelers linebacker star of the same name. He has high-end physical traits for a cornerback, standing at 6'2" while weighing 194 pounds. His size and strength will allow him to physically match up with some of the NFL's best wide receivers starting in the 2023 NFL season, and he takes advantage of his frame well in press man coverage. That length allows him to quickly reach around potential pass catchers to knock the football away. He did that 11 times in 2022, and that was tied for the 3rd most in the Big Ten Conference. Pick number 11, the Tennessee Titans. With the 11th pick, the Tennessee Titans select Peter Skoronski. He played his college football at Northwestern from 2020 to 2022. With the way the Tennessee Titans quarterbacks were roughed up last year, the Titans have a clear need up front. What a better way to fill it than by drafting him, who was the highest graded pass blocker in all of college football in 2022. He's solid and consistent, which are 2 of the best things you can say about an offensive lineman. His mobility and power make him an excellent pro lineman no matter where he lines up. Pick number 12, the Houston Texans. With the 12th pick, the Houston Texans select Quentin Johnston. He played his college football at TCU from 2020 to 2022. The Houston Texans need a game changer in the passing game. Why not go after one of the best deep ball receivers in college football? Who's an above-the-rim playmaker whose skills and contested catch abilities make him one of the best in college football. With the Texans drafting their quarterback of the future at number 2, and now they give Bryce Young an explosive playmaker. That would give the team a bright future. Pick number 13, the New York Jets. With the 13th pick, the New York Jets select Paris Johnson Jr. He played his college football at Ohio State. Whoever is the quarterback for the New York Jets in 2023, they need better protection from the offensive line. Johnson plays left tackle for Ohio State last season. He also has experience on the interior and either way. He is a day one starter for the New York Jets. Pick number 14, the New England Patriots. With the 14th pick, the New England Patriots select Christian Gonzalez. He played his college football at Oregon in 2022. With team captain and New England Patriots legend Devin McCourty winding down his career, the Patriots will need to find a new leader for their secondary. Christian would be Bill Belichick's first-round defensive back selection since Devin McCourty himself in 2010. He has tremendous size for the cornerback position at 6'2", 201 pounds. Making him a very moldable prospect for the Patriots to work into their defense. Pick number 15, the Green Bay Packers. With the 15th pick, the Green Bay Packers select Michael Mayer. He played his college football at Notre Dame from 2020 to 2022. Whoever is the quarterback for the Green Bay Packers in 2023, four-time NFL MVP Aaron Rodgers or Jordan Love, they definitely need weapons. The Green Bay Packers haven't selected an offensive skill position player in the first round since 2002, when they chose Florida State wide receiver Javon Walker with the 20th overall pick. The team desperately needs his all-around skill set as a blocker and pass catcher. Over the last 3 seasons, no tight end had more catches or receiving yards than his 180 receptions for 2,099 receiving yards across college football. Pick number 16, the Washington Commanders. With the 16th pick, the Washington Commanders select O'Cyrus Torrence. He played his college football at Florida in 2022. He transferred from Louisiana, he didn't miss a beat, and he was dominant for Florida last fall. He was also the most dominant offensive lineman at the Senior Bowl, and he could start right away for the Washington Commanders next season. If history is any guide, he will be dominant in the NFL too. Pick number 17, the Pittsburgh Steelers. With the 17th pick, the Pittsburgh Steelers select Broderick Jones. He played his college football at Georgia from 2020 to 2022. Jones had a strong 2022 campaign for Georgia, where he has faced some of the best defensive players in the country every day at practice for the last 2 years. It would be a smart idea for the Steelers to invest in protection in front of their quarterback, and which would also surely meet with runner back Najee Harris approval too. He's not yet a finished product, but he has the athleticism and strength to be a difference maker when he puts it all together. Pick number 18, the Detroit Lions. With the 18th pick, the Detroit Lions select Brian Bresee. He played his college football at Clemson from 2020 to 2022. The Detroit Lions statistically had the worst defense in the league last year. Now pairing him with the interior with last year's second overall pick, Aiden Hutchinson gives the team 2 building blocks up front to go along with Devin Witherspoon, and with an improved Jeff Okudah on the back end. He has nice size and coverability and should fit great with the Lions. Pick number 19, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. With the 19th pick, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers select Brian Branch. He played his college football at Alabama from 2020 to 2022. Brian isn't the first name you hear about when the conversation turns to the Alabama's defense, but maybe he should be. He's a sure tackler, can blitz off the edge, and is solid in coverage. And if Nick Saban trusts him, that's all you need to know about him as an NFL prospect. He can provide some much needed versatility for a team that could be centered around its defense going forward, following Tom Brady's retirement. Pick number 20, the Seattle Seahawks. With the 20th pick, the Seattle Seahawks select Kelly Ringo. He played his college football at Georgia from 2020 to 2022. He's a long, physical corner who has matched up against some of the best players in the country in college football. Pete Carroll loves lengthy defensive backs, and he's 6'2" and weighs 210 pounds. The cornerback out of Georgia hits all the measurables that Pete Carroll appreciates, making him a great fit for the Seattle Seahawks to help build their new dominant secondary in the future. Pick number 21, the Los Angeles Chargers. With the 21st pick, the Los Angeles Chargers select Jackson Smith-Njigba. He played his college football at Ohio State from 2020 to 2022. He was limited to just 3 games in 2022 due to a hamstring injury, and it was his decision not to participate in the college football playoffs. Even though he barely saw the field during the 2022 season, but he's still one of the top wideouts in the class. Don't forget his huge 2021 campaign, which included a terrific Rose Bowl performance. He's a polished pass catcher with the route running skills and hands to thrive against one-on-one coverage at the next level. Pick number 22, the Baltimore Ravens. With the 22nd pick, the Baltimore Ravens select Jordan Addison. He played his college football at USC in 2022. He has game-breaking speed, and he had an incredible 2021 campaign with 17 touchdowns. Jordan isn't a big target, but he's one of the most dynamic players in the country who can line up anywhere. He has the ability to line up on the inside or outside, giving Lamar Jackson a strong stable of pass catchers. And hopefully for the Ravens, they can get a long-term contract done with Lamar Jackson in the offseason. Pick number 23, the Minnesota Vikings. With the 19th pick, the Minnesota Vikings select Emmanuel Forbes. He played his college football at Mississippi State from 2020 to 2022. The Minnesota Vikings had the second worst total defense last year, and they desperately need that playmaking on their team next season. He's a ball hawk with exceptional eyes, instincts, and skills. He totaled 14 interceptions, the most in the NCAA during his 3 years in school, while playing in the SEC West. He will fit in great with the Minnesota Vikings. Pick number 24, the Jacksonville Jaguars. With the 24th pick, the Jacksonville Jaguars select Dalton Kincaid. He played his college football at Utah from 2020 to 2022. He's arguably the most polished route runner of all the tight ends in the draft, regularly lining up in the slot. He can also make other players miss after the catch. He's an all Pac-12 player with 70 catches, 890 yards, 8 touchdowns in the 2022 season. He could be better than all of them and would give the Jaguars' young quarterback another dangerous weapon for an ascending offense. Pick number 25, the New York Giants. With the 25th pick, the New York Giants select Darnell Washington. He played his college football at Georgia from 2020 to 2022. It would be a great idea for the New York Giants to get their quarterback some weapons, and Washington is a big one in both the run game as a blocker and in the pass game. He's 6'7", 270 pounds. He's big enough to ramble through press man coverage at the line of scrimmage, and he can make incredible catches because of his large frame. He could also be a significant security blanket for their quarterback up and down the field, especially in the red zone. Pick number 26, the Dallas Cowboys. With the 26th pick, the Dallas Cowboys select Lucas Van Ness. He played his college football at Iowa from 2020 to 2022. He's a potent pass rusher and is a high-energy defender. And he can line up on the edge or move inside and line up across from interior offensive linemen. If there's any defensive coordinator out there who can maximize his athletic talent, it's Dan Quinn. By picking him, also provides long-term assurance for soon-to-be 31-year-old DeMarcus Lawrence. Pick number 27, the Buffalo Bills. With the 27th pick, the Buffalo Bills select Bijan Robinson. He played his college football at Texas from 2020 to 2022. Robinson is special, and while he is probably one of the best runner backs in the draft, he could still be around the late first round because he's a running back. It would be a good idea for the Buffalo Bills to help preserve Josh Allen's legs for the postseason and achieve true balance on the offense by taking the draft's top running back this year. He led college football with 113 tackles avoided in 2022, the most by an FBS player in the last 5 seasons. He's an every down back who can add a true weapon as both a runner and receiver out of the backfield. Pick number 28, the Cincinnati Bengals. With the 28th pick, the Cincinnati Bengals select Felix Dyke. He played his college football at Kansas State from 2020 to 2022. Now with Cincinnati having to deal with Patrick Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs every year in the playoffs, that means any challenger needs to be able to rush the passer. By pairing him with Trey Hendrickson gives the Cincinnati Bengals the ability to pressure without needing to blitz as frequently against Patrick Mahomes, a situation where he thrives. The Kansas State product has a high ceiling, as shown by his 4-sack game against TCU in 2021. Pick number 29, the New Orleans Saints. With the 29th pick, the New Orleans Saints select Nolan Smith. He played his college football at Georgia from 2019 to 2022. Nolan will be coming off a pectoral muscle tear that he suffered on October 29th of 2022. When he's healthy, he has some of the best explosive off the line of scrimmage as of any edge rusher in his draft class. His quickness allows him to get underneath blockers quickly thanks to his ability to change direction in the blink of a second. Even though he is slightly undersized, he can make a significant impact in after the quarterback when used correctly. He's a valuable player who could have been a top 15 pick without a mid-season injury last year. Pick number 30, the Philadelphia Eagles. With the 30th pick, the Philadelphia Eagles select Kalijah Kancey. He plays college football at Pittsburgh from 2019 to 2022. Even though he's an undersized defensive tackle out of Pittsburgh, but he has a quick get off the line of scrimmage and is stronger than the measurables suggest. With Fletcher Cox, Robert Quinn, Javon Hargrave, Indomitial Sue, and Linval Joseph are all set to become free agents this offseason. Grabbing him here could go a long way to restocking the team on the defensive line. Pick number 31, the Kansas City Chiefs. With the 31st pick, the Kansas City Chiefs select Zay Flowers. He played his college football at Boston College from 2019 to 2022. Flowers is a smaller wide receiver, but he's one of the top slot receivers in the draft. And if he was 2 inches taller, he would be a top 15 pick. He's an electric playmaker with sticky hands, outstanding route running skills. With Mecole Hardman and Juju Smith-Schuster hitting free agency, he's a replacement for the types of plays like jet sweeps and zone-breaking concepts that Andy Reid likes to run. So which 2023 NFL draft prospect do you want your team to land in the first round? What does your mock draft look like? Let me know in the comments down below. Before you leave, please smash that subscribe button and also hit that notification bell if you're new to my channel. And if you love sports, this is definitely the place for you, and also share this video with more sports fans. As always, thank you guys so much for watching. My name is Nathan, and I'll see you guys all in my next video. Just keep loving sports.